I have mixed feelings about the Beatrix Potter Needlepoint book. This is one I picked up, I think, at the Friends of the Library bookstore. I don't exactly remember buying it, but the price tag in the front makes me think it came from them. Either way, I've had it for a while, and I unearthed it today when I was looking for something to do a book review video of. This is by Pat Mancini, and it came out originally in 1990. There are still plenty of used copies available online, so it would be easy to come by a copy if it appeals to you. There's some projects in here that I like. There are some projects in here that I love. And there are some that I honestly just don't get. I think some of the characters are depicted, some of Beatrix Potter's artwork is depicted, and then I think that some of these are meant to reflect her world and her surroundings, and maybe those are the ones that I don't love as much. So the first project is the Mr. Jeremy Potter Tea Cozy. And then we have the Squirrels on a Log Fire Screen. I kind of like that one. And then down here is another little pillow. Let me find the name of that one. That is the Squirrel with Nut Cushion. And I honestly like that one a lot better. I went through this book 4 times looking for the Squirrel with a Nut Cushion picture. The pattern is here. And there's also an oak leaves and ribbon rug down here. The photography is not what I've come to love and expect from the other needlepoint books in my collection. There's a lot of digging to find what you want. This is the Tom Kitten cushion. Like I said, there are some knitting patterns in here. The author is primarily a knitwork designer, and I love knitting. These don't float my boat. So this is a patchwork shawl, which I guess is like tessellating blocks. This is one of my favorites in the book. It is Fruit Design Pilmet Tieback and Cushions. By process of elimination, I'm going to say that thing up there is a Pilmet. I would have thought it was a Valance. But look at the cushions. Look at that fruit. I don't know what it is about my brain that makes me want to stitch all of the realistic fruit, but I do. Hunka Munka Floor Runner. I am guessing that would make sense. Oh, this is the rug from the doll's house from The Tale of Two Bad Mice, using the tiny piece shown in the very last picture of the book as a starting point. So it does make sense if you stop and read all of the commentary. Here's a floral stool cover. Again, it's pretty needlepoint. It's just, if you tell me we're going to do Beatrix Potter needlepoint, I'm picturing cute little animals. A Tale of Gloucester upholstered chair seat. Again, this one says, I had to bring into this book the exquisite embroidered coat and waistcoat from the tailor of Gloucester, who sewed and snipped all day long while the light lasted. It's got some diagrams of how to upholster a chair seat. And there's the little mouse picture. I like the little mouse. I just like needlepoint in general. A Lakeland landscape. Traditional needlework landscapes. I am all over those. And this one is called Hilltop by Night. I think that's called Long Stitch. It's not something I have tried myself yet. In a cradle or pram cover, knitted with over embroidery. I don't think the knitting projects have aged as well as the needlepoint projects have. Mrs. Tittlemaus basket lid. That is adorable. And then there is another one here. It is I thought I saw a name on this. It's a round piece, and they give you a little square picture of it. So it's rabbits hiding in the roots of a tree. And they're adorable, but I'd love to see the full stitch thing. Fungi and Rose Hips basket lid. I love that one. I'm glad I bought the book. It just isn't what I would picture if I did my dream book of Beatrix Potter Needlepoint. Oh, this is for the Afghan. There's an Afghan and a sad rabbit cushion and a birth sampler. That one is counted cross stitch. I think I have several counted cross stitch booklets of Beatrix Potter, or things that look like Beatrix Potter. A foxglove bell pull. This one is based on a watercolor of a rose that Beatrix Potter did. So I guess it's neat that it's not a literal translation of all of her books. A pansy rug. But a lot of these projects, I think you could find similar in other things. This one is a checkered mohair rug, and that makes a lot more sense now that I realize that that is knitting and not needlepoint. Mrs. Tiggy Wiggle wall hanging, and that is knitted. In Tarsha, I am going to assume it's worked from a chart. And a counted cross stitch robin card and Jemima Petal Duck. So those are both counted cross stitch. They're charted for Coats Anchor Stranded Cotton. So would that be the anchor? Well, 1990, I would assume maybe that's the stranded cotton we use now. Here's a tulip cushion. And Tabitha Twitchett's garden miniature picture. There are, like I said, some really pretty projects in here, and there are some that just don't float my boat or make me swoon. Overall, I'm glad I bought the book, and I'll keep the book. I really like the fruit best of anything, and I think if I go to stitch Beatrix Potter's characters, I may do it from one of the other patterns in my stash. Let me know what you think. If there's something in here that you are dying to stitch, I would love to know about it. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle, and this is my Romantic Tangle.